Buenos Tardes from La Paz in Bolivia. I'm just going for a teleférico ride to Teleférico's gondola system, so you can see out there. So yeah, just going for a bit of a ride, a bit of a break. So I was having a conversation this morning with a friend of mine. We've actually been having a bit of a conversation for the last month or two about COVID and stuff and things like that, and vax and no vax and all that sort of stuff. And I was just sort of sharing with them. I was just thinking, standing back from everything that's going on at the moment, the world, and just sort of look at, not get so much tied into the words of the story, but just look at what's going on. And one of the things which is very clear to me, I sort of re-engaged back into the Western world about 2 or 3 months ago. I spent a lot of time in retreat, so I couldn't see what was going on. Ooh, look at that blood around here, but there you go, there's a bit of a view. What's up? And one of the things that I've noticed, is this really just sort of splitting that's been created, and people taking sides, and it was always kind of there, I guess, but it's just become so much more obvious now, and it's so much more destructive and corrosive, and that's kind of what I've noticed, people not being able to listen to one another and discuss anything. And generalisation, of course, but and so it just sort of made me think, you reflect on history, and there's been many times when there's been different people that have sort of stood up, or countries have stood up and said, it's our way is the right way, and things like this, and it's ended up causing a huge amount of pain and agony for a lot of people, and it kind of feels like, I was sort of thinking, is this history repeating itself now? But we seen, we just seen the same pattern just playing out again, where man tries to control everything, can control everyone, and it's my way or the highway, and yet time and time again we've proven that's not not to be the case. So I'll just give you another little view here. So going to the next Teleférico station. So yeah, really just sort of encourage my friend to just sort of I need to put my mask on, hold on. Yeah, just trying to get my friend to consider what are the impacts of this splitting, so regardless of what we think about anything, what we think is right or wrong, the end result is that we've got this very corrosive splitting that's happening out there in the world, that, again, if we reflect on history, when this happens, it doesn't turn out to be very pretty. Whoa. Front view there. So yeah, I just really just food for thought, and for me it feels like these are the the conversations we need to be having. Is just we sort of seem to be getting so wound up in the day-to-day stuff, which I get, because we're all in the middle of it all, but there's just so many other things that are going on that could end up being a lot worse than the whatever it is that's going around the world at the moment. So yeah, just some thoughts here on really just some considerations on some of the things that are going on that I'm seeing from here, from a place which is very different and very different perspective. But anyway, I shall leave you there. There's one last view. Teleférico, right? Okay, bye-bye, lots of love.